Hey everybody, welcome to the Get Ready to Profit webinar, podcast, Periscope session. That's what we're going to be deciding today. If you're watching the replay, I think we're just getting started here. It looks like some people are pumping in the room here. Let me get a little more oriented here. Hi everybody, my name is Glenn Garnes. I want to welcome, who is this in here? I see two people in here, but I can't see them actually showing up yet. That's okay. My name is Glenn Garnes, and I am excited. Cindy, welcome to my Periscope session today. I'm going to be asking you for some help to make a very important decision that I'm trying to make. We're going to talk about that decision in just a minute, but for the time being, let's let a few more people get in here. I see somebody just joined. Let me see if I can see some of the names here. Cindy's in. Some of them aren't showing up. I don't know what that's all about. I'll tell you what, let's do a roll call in a minute. Let's give some people a chance. Nina, welcome. If I recognize your name on the in your title, in your handle, I'll mention you. But we will do a roll call in a minute here so that we can get a chance to get to know each other. I'm relatively new to Periscope. I've been playing around with it for about 2 or 3 weeks now, mostly buying equipment and toys and everything goes. Nina, I'm going to tell you in a minute what a podcast is, and that's an excellent question. I was going to ask people whether they know. I'm so glad that you asked the question. Well, let me address the question right now. A podcast is an internet radio show that's typically pre-recorded and then uploaded to the internet for people to listen to later. And I'm going to lay out a little bit of scenario for you in terms of why I'm making this decision about whether to podcast or whether to Periscope. And I won't tell you what direction I might be leaning or anything, because I really want your input on this. And, Nina, okay, so Nina, that's kind of where I'm leaning. But there is another choice, though. There is another choice. The other choice is to possibly do both. I actually have the ability to record the audio of my Periscope sessions separately from the actual Periscope broadcast. And I'm just wondering, the main thing there is that because this is a engagement platform where we can correspond back and forth, we can talk with each other and everything, I'm not sure how interesting it would be for someone to just listen to that on a radio broadcast after the fact. Hey Phil, thanks for joining us. I appreciate you coming on in here and being part of this session. So that's the decision I want to make. I want to know, should I do Periscope or should I simulcast it where I'm recording the audio of Periscope and at the same time being here with you, and ultimately whether it's worth the extra effort. So Montana Jokes is saying yes. I don't know what yes means. Yes, do both. Let's do this. Before we get into the topic, let's go ahead and do a quick roll call. Why don't you in the comment section, put your name and where you are from so that we can see who's out here. So yes, Nina, I could do both. Absolutely. And I'm thinking about that. That's kind of the point. I want to figure out whether it's worth it to do both, whether the extra effort. Montana says do both. Cindy from the Bronx. Welcome, Cindy. Thank you for joining us. I'm originally from Montclair, New Jersey, so I know exactly where the Bronx is. We used to spend more time in New York than we did in Montclair. Nina from Chicago. Thank you so much for that. And Nina, I've never been to I've been to Chicago one time. I flew through Chicago. I was a connecting flight kind of thing. So John from Sweden, wow, do both. Thank you for that, John. And I'm thinking about that. I like podcasts too, so I can, actually, absolutely. Now, let me ask you a question. Do you think that because of the kind of dialogue that we're having back and forth here, that it would diminish the value of the podcast for us to just replay the audio of the podcast? That's my main concern, is whether Hassan, thank you for joining us. Welcome. Tell us your full name and where you are. Do you think it would diminish the value of the podcast? Because remember, podcasting is like a radio show, so there's a completely different format because you don't generally get a chance to talk to your audience unless you have people calling in. You know, what I plan on doing on my Periscope broadcast, I will have people I'm interviewing. I'll bring them in remotely. We have a full TV production studio here and a radio room. And the next time that I broadcast on Periscope, I'll actually do that from the radio room. We did a little bit of that yesterday, and we're going to probably be in the radio room more often. I wanted to do this in my office because I'm sitting here getting some other things done and wanted to do a quick broadcast here. But do you think it diminishes at all the broadcast to have people listening just to the replay, you think they'd still be interested in what we had to talk about? Let me know, one, if you think they would be interested, and two, if you think it's a problem, in the chat room or in the comment section. And thank you for the hearts. Who's sending me hearts? That's wonderful. Like the hearts. Jambod. Who is Jambod? Jambod, give us your... Oh, Cindy sending hearts too. Thank you, Cindy. Jambod, give us your full name in the chat room for me, please. So, and this is really a fantastic way for me to get feedback too, because I'm trying to cater to a specific audience. So let me tell you who it is that I'm looking to work with. My name is Glenn Garnes, and I am working specifically to help people who are interested in getting into business, entrepreneurs, to make this transition from employee mindset to entrepreneur mindset. And just to give you a little quick background so that you'll know what the subject matter of my Periscope session is going to be, I'm a retired attorney, and I represent small business owners for the majority of my law practice. And when I closed my law practice and decided to go into other things, I've always been a technology buff, so I love technology, the internet, things like Periscope. I'm on top of this like crazy. So my goal is to help more people do what I did, which once I graduated from law school and went into business for myself, to make the transition to being in their own business, even if they do it on the side. And frankly, that's one of the big things about being in business for yourself today. It's never been easier. WC Virtual Management, I know who that is. Thank you very much for joining us. Is that Colette and Wesley and Wes? Thank you for being on the call or on the broadcast. So when I made the transition, the only other thing that I was doing that anyone cared about, hey, it is Colette. Thanks. Colette is in the house. Colette is one of our social media strategists here at Village Connector Media. That's the name of my parent company. And if you need help establishing your presence in social media online, you should reach out to Colette right now. I would tell you, go follow her and reach out to her if you're a business owner that needs help putting your business together online, because she is fantastic, absolutely fantastic. So anyway, all right, so most of you feel that I should do both. The subject matter is going to be business and how to get into business. So we're going to talk about everything from how to get a business started to how to come up with your business idea to the kinds of resources that you need to get into business and how to market your businesses. I mean, that's the big one. A lot of people get into business and they don't get clients, customers, because they don't know how to market themselves. Well, that's something that we've been very effective at here at Village Connector Media. And frankly, I want to share what I know with other people so that we can hopefully help more people take control of their own destiny. Now, so far, everyone has been very helpful with this feedback, and I appreciate it. It's always a good idea to ask for people's opinions on things like that. So we're going to hang out for a little bit longer here. It looks like we still have 3 people in the chat room here and watching the broadcast, and that's great. And again, we're new to this, and I know one of the other things, if you look at my profile right now, my profile talks about winning money and doing prize giveaways, and that might be why there's fewer people in here, because when they found out I wasn't giving away a prize, they didn't want to hang around. But the truth is that one of the things that we're going to be doing is transitioning the prize giveaway aspect of what we do to a separate profile on Periscope. And this profile, from my personal profile, is going to be about my venture in teaching people how to be in business for themselves. And in fact, for those of you that are watching the replay on this, and those of you that are on live right now, my podcast website is getreadytoprofit.com. Getreadytoprofit.com. And if you go there, you can actually get on our mailing list, join the Partners in Profit Club. It's free. It gives you a bunch of resources that help you to build your business, and they're all free. So we really want you to take advantage of that. But, like I said, I'm going to make a decision today. And I'm leaning, based on some of the recommendations that you made, I'm leaning towards having this be a podcast and Periscope broadcast, and just leave it up to people that are listening to the podcast as to whether they want to listen to it. Because it's really just the people on iTunes and Stitcher that would be affected by this, possibly SoundCloud. Because people on my website, I can post the broadcast from the Periscope session up there so they can actually watch the video or listen to it. So I'm more concerned about when it goes up to iTunes, whether or not people would find the format attractive, since I was here able to talk with you during that time. So who knows? Maybe there'll be a fly on the wall and they'll enjoy that, and we'll go from there and see if people take a liking to it. So, what's everybody else doing on their Sunday? How many of you are sitting around waiting to go back to work? I saw some friends of mine that are down at the beach right now. They're trying to get those last days in on vacation before school starts, and most of the kids in this community start school next week. I homeschool. We homeschool my youngest son, and my two oldest sons have both graduated from high school, and they're doing other things. And one of them's taking a year off from college, and one of them's going back to college. So, and then my daughter, she's still in elementary school. She's got one more year of elementary school to go, and then we're not sure what we're going to do with her yet, if she wants to continue in the public school system or be homeschooled. So, we'll have to find out after next year. You'll have to come back. That'll be a subject of another Periscope session. So, is anybody else still out there want to tell me what they're doing with the rest of their summer? Anybody got anything great going on? You got any plans, going to a concert, going out to dinner, anything like that? It's awfully quiet out there. Colette, you just came back from vacation, right? Give her a second to answer there. I know there's a delay between my asking that question. I'm also looking over here for some comments on Twitter, so just don't think that I'm ignoring you. I'm actually looking at Twitter over here. It's funny because when you connect your account for Periscope to Twitter, you can see people, happy anniversary, congratulations. That's wonderful. So give my best to Wes and the kids, and I really appreciate you joining us today. I don't know where everybody else is. I know some of my running mates are probably out doing stuff on Sunday. I'm here in the office enjoying myself. I'm getting ready to do some reading, so that's going to be some good stuff. It's leisure reading for a change. One of the things I've really had a challenge with lately, because we've been so busy with ideas and things going on here, is that I haven't had a chance to read any of these books. I'm in the process of, let me see how this goes, reorganizing my bookcase. That upper left bookcase, I'm going to have all the books that I am reading now, that books I've purchased but I haven't gotten around to reading yet, so that I can more easily find them and motivate myself to pick them up. And then I'm going to have another bookshelf that has books I've read that I refer to on a regular basis. And then we'll figure out what to do with the rest of the bookcase. Because those are the main two categories as far as I'm concerned. Is what am I reading now, and what do I refer to on a regular basis? So I want to get those organized to make it easier to do that. But I wonder who else is out here. If you're still on and you haven't followed me yet, please do that. It would be nice if I could get you to stay connected, especially if you think you have any interest at all in learning about why you might want to have your own business and why you might want to create multiple streams of income from different things you can do. That's one of the wonderful things about being on the internet, is that there are tons of ways for you to find revenue streams. And a lot of them are very simple. They don't require a lot of investment or anything like that. We talk about all kinds of different business opportunities out here. We don't limit ourselves to any one subject matter. The idea is for you to be fully aware of all the different options that you have to put yourself in a position to take control of your own destiny. So that's really important to me. It's part of my core mission in life, is to help people. Hey, Paul, welcome to my Periscope session. We're in here talking a little bit about whether I should do a Periscope broadcast or a podcast, or do both. And Paul Kirkpatrick. Now I know who that is. Paul, I have to thank you profusely, because Paul is the one that introduced me to Periscope. But Paul said it in kind of just an off-the-cuff way. Hey, have you seen Periscope yet? You should check that out. It was kind of like just, in passing. Now I have, Paul, you'll be happy to hear this. We have made a dramatic shift in the focus that we're placing on how Village Connector TV is going to be delivered. In fact, the next time you're over here at the community center, I want to talk with you and show you some of the things that we're doing to really move aggressively in the direction of having Village Connector TV have a very, very strong Periscope component. So you and I should talk. You'll be amazed at some of the stuff that I've done since you planted the seed for me about a month ago, if I remember correctly. So I'm glad that you saw that we were on here. It's good to see you. Send me some hearts, though. I could use some hearts. This is all very fun. And Colette, are you still there? Because I wanted to suggest that you stop over too. You know, actually, I think what we're going to do, and I actually talked to Mia about this. We are going to schedule, and Colette, you may be able to help me with this now I think about it. We're going to schedule a special workshop or session for our Village Connector community members to come in and to actually find out more about Periscope. Because I know there's a lot of people who were hesitant about having a full TV show because of the amount of time and effort that goes into it. But I think that they would be a lot more open to the idea of a Periscope TV show, which they can do from the comfort of their own home on their smartphone, but still have it go up on the Village Connector TV network on Roku. For those of you that are watching this Periscope session, we're in September of 2015, we're going to be launching a new Roku TV channel, which will feature all the people who are part of the Village Connector TV network. We're going to have all their TV shows up on Roku. So if you have the ability to tap into Roku, you definitely should. If you don't, it's okay, because we're going to also have it on YouTube, and there'll be some things on our website where you can see the TV shows as well. But Roku is really cool because you can connect it to your big screen TV and watch it like a regular TV show. That's one of the things that makes Roku so special. So we're going to have our own channel in that channel lineup, and we're going to have some great TV shows, because it's going to be a way for us to take the Periscope broadcasts and repurpose them, put them up into another venue, and that will make more people that aren't aware of Periscope aware that this is here too. I mean, think about it. You can't take your Roku box with you in the car. You can't take it with you when you're walking down the street. But one of the wonderful things about Periscope is that it's with you everywhere you go. That was one of the reasons why I like the podcast, because you can download from iTunes the audio files and listen to those anywhere. Periscope, frankly, blows that out, blows the whole concept up, because we can actually talk back and forth because it's a live happening event. And I really am excited about that. So I hope you are as excited as I am about the prospect for having Periscope be a major part of your life. One of the things that's really nice is that you get a chance to meet people from all over the world, see what they're doing, talk, get to know them. I've made friends already overseas just by following people on Periscope. It's fascinating to see how quickly connections can be made and how quickly barriers can be broken down just by being able to communicate one-to-one with people, instead of limiting yourself to what the media says about some part of the world. So the fact is that, Periscope is a big game changer. And like I said, we owe Paul Kirkpatrick of Laurel Media Foundation a big thank you for being on top of this when it first came out. And that's another amazing thing. Periscope's only been around officially for about 4 months. Can you imagine what it would have been like to be around when Facebook was only 4 months old? Be on Facebook when it was only 4 months old? That's incredible. So the little history behind Periscope, if I could just share that real quick for people that may not know, is that I believe, from what I've heard from some of the gurus I've heard out here, and there's, guru is a relative term. It's hard to be a guru about something that only came out, less than 4 months ago. But the people who are more knowledgeable than I, which is a lot of people, have said that Periscope was beta launched in January of 2015, and within the first 10 days, there were over 1 million people that were using it. And then, less than 60 days later, Twitter purchased them for $100 million in March. They purchased them for $100 million. And at the time that Twitter purchased them, Periscope was only on the iOS platform, the iPhone. But in May of this year, they got Android set up so that, Android users are relatively new to the game here, because, there was no Android availability until May of this year. So it's really been May, June, July, and now we're fully into August. It's only been 4 months that Periscope's been around. So the truth is that there's a great opportunity for people to begin looking at how this tool can play a role in their lives, whether it's connecting them to friends, family members, and others, whether it's allowing them to communicate an important message, whether it's allowing them to help others. It doesn't matter what it is. Periscope is a platform that's going to facilitate a dramatic advance in the lives of everyone on the planet because of the ability of this communications tool to bridge gaps. So I'm excited. I couldn't be more excited. And that's why we're spending so much time giving some serious thought to how Periscope will play a role in what we're doing here at Village Connector Community. So my radio broadcast is actually part of a bigger network. It's called Village Connector Media. And we operate a community center called Village Connector Community, both virtual and physical, here in Laurel, Maryland. But my radio show is one of many TV and radio shows that are on topics related to personal development, health and wellness, and professional development. And our goal is to help you plug into some really good content that helps you to invest in yourself through self-education. Self-education is an exploding opportunity on the internet because there's so many places that you can go to learn new things. And when you learn new things, you equip yourself to be better at who you are and what you're doing. When you become more valuable to yourself through self-education, you become more valuable to others. And when you're more valuable to others, some of those people will pay you to find out what you know. And that's one very big opportunity in terms of having an opportunity to be able to create a revenue stream for yourself. You know, there's no way that today people could fail at anything that they put their minds to because of the communications tools and the technology tools that exist to help them to be successful. So a big part of our mission is making sure people understand how to use those tools and put them to good use. So I hope you'll stay connected. I hope that if you're watching the replay of this, that you'll get connected to us. If you're watching the replay, somewhere on this side or this side, you should see my contact information, how to get connected with us on Periscope and Twitter, how to get connected with us at getreadytoprofit.com, how to get connected with us on the Partners in Profit Club, and also how to subscribe to our YouTube channel. So please get connected in some way, because if you're connected to me, then I can help you. There are ways I can make sure you get information that might make a difference. I think Colette and Paul would tell you that, you know, they have found value in being able to pick my brain and ask questions. And I know I've had value in being able to talk with Paul in that connection, because Paul is a very talented video producer. He's actually run TV stations before, so he knows when he sees something that it's going to be big, and that's why he shared with me Periscope. So, well, listen, I'm going to cut this short. I think I have enough information to make my decision. I'm going to let you know that the decision is going to be that I'm going to do both the Periscope broadcast and the podcast. And we're just going to make sure that people on the podcast know that this was a simulcast of Periscope, so that if they understand, if they feel that the format is different than what they're used to seeing on an internet radio show, they'll understand why. All right, folks, well, listen, I hope you have a fantastic end to your weekend and an even better week to start. Please get connected with me in some fashion, and let me know if there's something I can do to help. And Paul, thank you so much. I appreciate your being here to watch this. It's always nice to have good people. Colette, thank you for the pat on the back on the wonderful decision. We're going to be talking about your Periscope broadcast shortly, so I guess you'll be doing both. And Paul, I would love to talk with you about what you're going to be doing with Periscope, especially what it is that you'd like to do that could be featured on Village Connector TV. I am very excited about all these developments and all these opportunities that we have to share information around the world with people who have an interest in the same things that we do. So anyway, listen, you all have a fantastic week. I'll look forward to catching up with you, both of you. Stop in, say hello. Let's have a chat and see where we are. And Colette, I'll be following up with you to find out whether we can get a date on the calendar to invite the rest of the Village Connector community members to find out more about Periscope. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for now. I hope you have a fantastic week. Please let me know if there's anything else I can do to help you, and have a great week.